Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode. I wanted to make this video, but before I want to try something new in this one. I want to add some light background music. Just hopefully it's not disruptive, but I want to just, add some color into the videos and we'll see how it goes. And like well that's the point right now. I mean, I've only done a few episodes and I'm learning on each episode as I do, like what things to do to help me prepare better and what things to say, and just I'm learning. So, but I want to, and I want everyone to learn together and as we are doing this. So, anyways, I wanted to make this video to talk about the 7 year shift. Like, I mean, this idea of it's called septennial cycles. So it's every 7 years you essentially enter a new phase of life. And I think I hit that spot just now. And it's like after a while, you know when you hit that spot. So, anyways, I think I'm making this video because I wanted to talk about a theory in developmental psychology. So, um, this theory says that we don't just age, we essentially become a new person every 7 years. I mean, that means our priorities change and our mindsets change, and we make jumps. So recently I turned 33. I know it's not exactly 7 years, but you don't like expect to hit that 7 years right on the dot of the 7 years. I mean, you obviously it's a gradual phase. Um, so I would say I'm right in the middle of my fourth cycle of or fourth phase or however you want to call it. Um, I think I've undergone this massive shift right now in how I view the world, my work, and the people around me. For most of my life, I thought the goal was to essentially win. Like I just want to, beat everybody around me. But I'm really competitive. Especially at work and those type of things. But now I realize like really and and I mean this in the most honest way. The goal is to serve. Like with if you go in with the intention of serving people, you're essentially gonna have much more luck at achieving your goals than to compete. Like just because you're not gonna make any friends along the way when you're competing. Um, but this realization has really made me change everything about how I lead, who I am as a person. Like again, I mentioned in my early 20s, I was very competitive. I worked on teams, but I didn't see people as my teammates. Really, I was just seeing them as my competition. Let's say there's one role above me, and then I see all the people that I'm working with as they're all wanting to fight for the same spot, and my job was to beat them, to do better than them. So, and I mean that got me only so far, right? I mean, if I mean, it's not that it didn't help me at all or in some ways, but then it obviously maybe not accelerated my growth as per se, because I didn't. But like usually people don't like that mentality. I mean, I know, and I'm saying this because I know there's probably some people out there who, especially this um, authors like Robert Greene per se, or Machiavelli. Like these concepts are out there, and my understanding is people are being more interested in it. So I used to be obsessed with this type of stuff, like the 48 Laws of Powers, like Machiavelli's book, and I thought this is the way to get to the top. You just have to outsmart, outmaneuver, and manipulate the people around you. And I know what I'm saying. Maybe some of you are thinking, but I mean, I wasn't to that extent. But I mean, just the general theory was, this is how you get to that level, right? This is how you reach that uh, next level is by following this type of strategy. Because nobody has ever, I felt like nobody has ever reached there for being nice to people. But but even if I was being nice, it wasn't like really genuine. It was always about how does helping others would benefit me, who's looking, and that I'm helping this person or that person, and how does that make me look, does that show my skills in leadership? But it wasn't honestly genuine. And um it 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 didn't work. Like, I mean, it works for a short term, but you know, that mentality, it's exhausting because you're feeling isolated. And in the modern world, in my line of work that I do as a program manager, it's a really a recipe for disaster. It doesn't help to build a safe, functioning environment if you're treating human beings like a chess piece, essentially. So I I had to make a shift, you know. I mean, and really the shift I made, it wasn't intentional. I mean, it although somebody recommended this book for me to read, which I will talk about the name of the book, but then um, it really happened like because it was I felt like I'm just at that phase of my life that I just needed that awakening. Um, because this manipulative way just feels dark. It feels heavy. I'll be blunt. Like, I mean, sometimes like it always almost feels like satanic what you're doing, and it's rooted in ego and fear. And I had this realization recently, and I always felt God, like, but I never really connected to it that much. Like, I mean, I always knew there was a God. I always seek for it. I always ask for it. But recently, I really connected with God, and I think that faith brought me into the truth that I really don't need to destroy others to elevate myself, and that's not what God wants either. Um, so I started to believe in good thoughts, good words, and good intentions are actually more powerful than manipulation tactics, really. When you operate from with a clean heart, you don't have to watch your back. You don't have to worry about who knows what, your karma, and you just do what you do. You're doing your own thing, and then you're also helping others along the way, and that feels so rewarding. And that's how I have gained some advances in my career. I mean, some, but I mean is in a short span of 3 months that I've been applying this philosophy into my life, I think I've made more advances than 3 years I've been in this organization, just because of the amount of connection. The relationships are so good, and the people are acknowledging that how my leadership style has changed. So if anybody wants to know how I came to that realization, really was I swapped Robert Greene for Edgar Sheen here. I moved from the book of Power Laws to essentially Humble Inquiry. I mean, completely on the other side of the spectrum when you think about it. Humble Inquiry asks questions that you already don't know the answer to. It's like about building relationship based on curiosity, trust, and not on dominating or being conquering or anything like that. So now, as a leader, instead of me walking into a room and try to prove that I'm the smartest person there, or make everyone, acknowledge me, I start to, really see how can I make others feel like they're the smartest person there. So, and that's that shift. Like, honestly, I don't know if you have the experience, or if you don't have the experience with it, and you're thinking the the power way is the way to go, just try this method for a little bit. On It's a huge, for me it was a huge shift because it feels like a weight lift off your shoulder. I never felt good in that whole trying to cheat and trick and things like that to get to the top, but this way you feel like genuinely good. And I really want to thank Edgar Sheen for really writing this book, because now I feel I'm I'm working with a good heart, and the people can tell, like, and you know modern day people can pick up on that kind of energy. I think that's the key thing. When you're out to help people genuinely, the people see that, and you may create some important allies along the way. So if you're feeling stuck and you feel like you're constantly fighting battles at work, ask yourself, are you trying to conquer people, or are you trying to connect with them? Really, like, real power isn't power over people, but it's power with people. And I have to say, like, the the office politics is stronger than you think, guys. Like, I mean, it's you can be the greatest and the best, and everything you do, but there's if you don't have allies, if you don't have people who vouch for you, if you don't have people who are willing to stand up with you and go to war with you, you're essentially a lone wolf. And in this in my organization at least, or in my industry, doesn't pay off. So if you're approaching the 7 year mark, maybe it's time for you to make a jump. I would say stop competing, start connecting, and just see how things goes, right? I mean, believe me, you'll make a lot of progress. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Again, when I make these videos, I really just wanted to teach something that's going on my mind and something that's been helping me. And just maybe if you're somebody watching these videos to learn from it, maybe you want to try something new, really, it doesn't hurt at this point. So, and I feel like I'm getting better at doing this. I'm still like I have a lot of work to do. I'm not good at it, but at least my agendas are getting a little bit better in my opinion. I'm gonna try adding some music into this. If you don't hear music in there, we got some work to do. But I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you. Have a good night.